In our last video, we have derived the commutation relations between the individual components of the momentums, and also we have derived the commutation relation with the individual component and the total angular momentum. Now this is the generalized symbol. This equation 7 is the generalized commutation relation for momentum operators, where this epsilon ijk is called Levi-Civita symbol. It has a particular property. Now we can see that this tensor, this is an antisymmetric tensor, and this has three indices. So as this has three indices, so we have 27 combinations of this, and if any two of these are equal, suppose I equal to 1 and k equal to also 1 and j equal to 2, so this will give me 0. And this has a this kind of properties. I'm just telling because I'm just telling this in a concise manner, because Levi-Civita symbol demands a separate lecture video, but now for the time being, just to give you a flavor what is a Levi-Civita symbol. It has 27 components, as I have just mentioned. And if this any two indices are same, then this will give 0, and the even combination of these indices will give me +1, and the odd combinations will give me -1. Now as these two angular momentums, this ji could be jx and this jj could be jy, and as they do not commute, they give me ih cross jz. So which means that these individual angular momentum operators, or maybe we call in short the momentum operators, they do not have any common eigenstate. But as these individual components commute with the total value of the angular momentum, that tells me that this jx and j square will have a common eigenset, a common set of eigensets maybe. And if this is jy, and so we will have jy j square equal to 0, which means jy and j square will have a common set of eigenstates. Similarly, this is the case for jz also. Now for example, I am just taking here the z component of the angular momentum and the total angular momentum, and as these two things commute, so I can say that jz and j square have a common eigenstate. And let me call this common eigenstate as lambda m. Now the eigenvalue equation for this j square and jz for this particular eigenstate will look like this. These lambda m eigenstates are normalized and they are orthogonal to each other. As they are orthogonal and normalized, that means they are orthonormal to each other. So I can write for these lambda m states this relation. This equation 10 is telling us that these states, these lambda m states, are orthonormal. Now let me define ladder operators. We will define ladder operators j plus and j minus in terms of jx and jy, and this is jx plus ijy, which gives me j plus, and jx minus jy gives me j minus, and they are Hermitian conjugate to each other. So we can write j plus Hermitian of this. If I take Hermitian conjugation of this j plus operator, I will get this j minus operator. This is the property, because from this we can readily see that if I take Hermitian conjugation of this j plus, then I will have a minus sign here, which is just this j minus. And as these j's, jy, they represent physical dynamical variable, they represent physical quantities like angular momentum. Angular momentum is a physical quantity which can be obtained from experiments. So this jx dagger should be jx. So if I make J plus and the Hermitian conjugation of this, I'll get this J minus. Now I will use J plus minus because this will contain Jx and Jy both instead of Jx, Jy, Jz and J square. So I will use J plus minus Jz and J square. Now let me find this J plus J minus. What is J plus J minus? I need to find this relation. I need to find this value. So instead of in the place of J plus, I will put equation 11, and I will also use equation 12 here for J minus, and this is the normal algebra I have made. This is commutation relation between Jx and Jy, which is nothing but IH cross JZ. I have proved this already. So this J plus J minus, the value of this is given by equation 13, which is Jx square plus Jy square plus H cross JZ. Let us proceed a bit further with this J plus J minus, because now we need to find the commutation relation of J plus and J minus. And for finding the value of the commutation relation of J plus J minus, I will need J plus J minus, the product, and the product of J minus J plus also. So first I am trying to find out the product of J plus J minus. This is, I have just proved that J plus J minus, this product is equal to Jx square plus Jy square plus H cross Jz. And now I have inserted this Jz, so I need to subtract it. This should be Jz. This should be Jz square. This was my mistake. So this Jx square plus Jy square plus Jz square will give me J square. Jz square was already there. So this is equation 14, which gives the value of the product of J plus J minus. Similarly, we can calculate, I have calculated this relation, and with the help of equation 11 and 12, that is the value of J plus and J minus, I can evaluate the product of J minus J plus, which will give me this. So if I want to find out the commutation relation of J plus J minus, now so this is the definition of the commutation relation, and if I use equation 14 and 15 here, I'll get equation 16, that is the commutation relation of J plus and J minus. This clearly shows me that J plus and J minus, they do not commute, and this is quite true. This is absolutely all right, because J plus contains Jx, Jy, J minus contains Jx, Jy, and they do not commute individually. Jx do not commute with Jy, Jy do not commute with Jx, which means this J plus J minus should not commute with each other. Now let's find out this commutation relations of this J plus J minus. I will need these commutation relations for future use in many problems, and sometimes in examination these commutation relations itself are needed to be derived, or maybe in MCQ we need to choose the correct option, that what is the value of the commutation relation of J plus Jz, etc., or maybe J plus J minus. This kind of relations may come in our examination. So let's find out the commutation relation of J plus and Jz. Instead of J plus, I have written the definition of J plus, which is Jx plus Ijy. And just doing some algebra, I have arrived at this place where this Jx plus Ijy is nothing but J plus, which means the commutation relation of J plus and Jz is minus H cross J plus. This is equation number 17. And similarly, if it is the commutation relation of Jz and J plus, just the order is reversed, so I must get plus H cross J plus, because now this is just only reversed. Now let's find out the commutation relation of J minus and Jz. And just by putting the values of putting the definition of J minus, I have done some algebra and I have arrived equation 18, which is the commutation relation of there must be a third bracket here. This is the commutation relation of J minus and Jz. Similarly, when the order is reversed, I will get just a minus sign here. As these individual components of momentum commutes with J square, their sum and difference must also commute with J square itself, and J plus is the summation of Jx and Jy, and J minus is just subtraction of Jx and Jy. So this J plus and Jz square must commute with each other.